Cindy Honeycutt thought she was too young to have a heart attack, and she didn't have much chest pain, just some nagging indigestion.
When I got to work that morning, I had indigestion, which I thought it was indigestion. I couldn't figure out what I'd eaten. I was beginning not to be able to breathe. I was perspiring. I was very clammy. I mean, just it's a very, very scary feeling, just like things are just shutting down, and I guess that's what was happening. Things were just shutting down. In the emergency room, I asked them, I said, excuse me, can somebody tell me what's going on? They said, ma'am, you're having a heart attack.
Now, it's understandable how a person could deny this heartburn feeling, but when you analyze the throat discomfort, it's really different from heartburn in most cases. Not so much a burn as a feeling of fullness, sort of a lump in the throat. It just doesn't feel right. Ask your doctor or askdrbob.com. I'm Dr. Bob Lanier. He's a little trouble to get to bed, but that's not the end of it. He gets up time and again. Parents don't like to be mean, but it gets pretty frustrating. Dr. Patrick Fryman, director of the clinical services at Father Flanagan's Boys Home, reported recently on their system, one that's worked for them and about 50 families in an informal study. It's simple. They laminate a 5x7 index card with a child's name on it, then give it to them at bedtime. The kids are told it can be used for one short visit after bedtime for a drink of water, a hug, whatever, then surrender for use the following night. It implies a contract. In their studies, it grossly reduced the amount of crying and coming out of the bedroom as early as 1 week. Doctors and parents who use the one-pass bedtime system prefer it to the alternatives. Ignore them or give in to the demands of the child and you'll let them sleep with you, and that's not good. For more information, ask your doctor or click on AskDrBob.com. I'm Dr. Bob Lanier. Is it a sign of mental illness, this need to pierce tender body parts with spikes of metal? Well, maybe at first it was, but now it's generally accepted, and there are surprisingly few complications. Even the most revolting piercing to parents, the barbell through the tongue, has produced remarkably few infections contrary to what doctors feared. The overall rate is thought to be about maybe 10 to 15%. The worst thing with barbells, well, broken teeth with falls. And piercing body parts like navels, noses, and nipples has been remarkably well tolerated except for people nickel sensitive. Now, we still have to deal with scarring gone wild at the site of piercing called keloids, but now kids have taken it a step further since piercing has gone mainstream. Now branding and scarification is in. Branding is being done with everything from red-hot paper clips to professional brands. It hurts. Scarification means rubbing sand into a wound to purposely produce a scar. You'd think we'd learn something from 10,000 years of experience. Ask your doctor or click on AskDrBob.com. I'm Dr. Bob Lanier. These little heart defibrillator gadgets cost a couple of $1,000s a piece, and they could hang on the walls of a grocery store for years without being used. A good investment? Ask Brett Anderson.
Those devices save lives. It basically shocked my heart back to life.
Lots of people feel the same way. They could save 25,000 lives a year. The American Heart Association has a concept called a chain of survival. 4 steps, all of them start with early. Early access to care. That means you ought to know something about emergencies. Second, early CPR. You might be the first on the scene. Early defibrillation. Not everyone needs this. And finally, early access to special care. Now, if you live in a big city, the chain's pretty strong, except for early defibrillation. And that's easily fixed if people really want it. The American Heart Association has information on automatic defibrillators. Ask your doctor or AskDrBob.com. I'm Dr. Bob Lanier. If you're developing your internet presence, you'll find us to be on the cutting edge with a first-class website where your viewers can ask me questions and get resources. Now, here's more information about how you can add the 60-second house call to your news product.